Hey, welcome to another live stream Bitcoin update just before the weekend hits from South Africa during my holiday. Good to see you here. Good to see you here. Daywald, LJ, Nick K, and Wes. What's up, guys? Good to see you here. Thanks for joining. And yeah, we got a busy schedule because at 4 p.m. local time, which is the Central European time, there's load shedding here in South Africa, Cape Town, which means that the electricity is going to cut off, which therefore means it's going to be the end of the stream. So 4 p.m., which is in 55 minutes, will be the end of today's stream. We're going to do an update. I'm going to do my analysis again live on stream. I know that people enjoyed seeing my process, so I'm going to do that once again. Then we go through the different Elliott Wave scenarios and, of course, sharing my thoughts about the scenarios and, of course, the probabilities as well. That being said, let's jump in. Maud Alassi, welcome. Good to see you around as well. Good to see you here. You can see my OBS is working. My microphone is working. Everything is nice. Liquid Mafia, good to see you as well. Welcome. And yeah. We're gonna start, of course, again, 55 minutes, 54 now, before I have to end it because of load shedding, which basically means no electricity. So yeah, no electricity. I do have a laptop. However, it's a gaming laptop, and for the optimal performance, it needs to be plugged in. Else the battery, like also with streaming and everything I'm running, battery is gonna go flat in no time. So you know, we better just stay online till 4 p.m. and then at 4 I'll go offline. Load shedding sucks. I completely agree, Daywald. Sometimes I completely forget about load shedding. Semith, welcome, man. Good to see you here. Badge is looking good on you, man. The silver one now. There you go. Nice. But yeah, load shedding indeed. It's like, and also, by the way, Wes, I think it's the first time I see the gold badge for you thinking. But yeah, load shedding. Sometimes I forget about load shedding, and I'm like, oh, I just want to, you know, charge my whatever, power bank, phone, laptop, and then it's like, oh wait, load shedding. There we go. SK7, Elena Radu, welcome. Noble needs pump or dump? That is the question. We're going to go into Elliott Waves in a second, and I'll do my analysis on stream as well. However, more locally, if you want a quick little answer, then this looks to be the beginning of something. So you have a three-wave corrective structure. This is the beginning of something, either a wave A or a wave 1, most likely. Lower probabilities at the moment for me. This is a wave C, as then we have an A over here, like a first structure. Then this has to be a second structure and then a third structure. Now, having a bounce here and a move to the upside, that's definitely possible. But I'd be probably counting it a little bit differently. But, you know, like this is definitely an area of interest and we have to observe the reaction. But if you talk more locally, then I do expect lower prices to come. Of course, that can go in a bit of a wave, but you know, that's my current thoughts locally. But we're going into Elliott Waves in a second. Let me quickly see what people wrote here today live. Yes, I am currently live. Amazing, thanks. Okay, so we're up to date there. Nice. Opening the chat. I only have one screen here on holiday, so you will see me, you know, using some stuff you might not usually see per se. But yeah, below 15, no, I don't like. That's the low probability idea. You can check my high time frame and macro video I did, which is in the playlist, high time frame and macro playlist as well. That's currently the higher probability stuff. I think actually my previous stream might be the best one, Elena Radu. But yeah, below 15, I would expect first new highs before new lows, potentially. That is, of course, in the bearish scenario. The idea of a flat wave, yes. Farshak Farouk, welcome. Good to see you. Miss you. That's kind. We're back again. Also here, Daywald said we missed you. But okay, let's jump in, right? We have to make like the most use of the time we have because of load shedding in 50 minutes. Time is ticking. So what I'm going to do, first of all, this is what I want to say. So if you follow my Bitcoin chart, right, you can, in the description of every video since the very beginning, I am sharing my link here. My chart is on sharing. It's open. The link is in the description. You can just open my chart and you can see what I have on my chart. Everything I do on my chart is something you will see on my chart. So if you have it open, if I do this, you will now see this white line on your chart as well. Everything I do will be on the chart as long as I keep sharing open, which is most of the time. Therefore, you have been seeing these lines on the chart for a very long time, right? When price started to range over here, I had the volume profile on my chart, the lines at the low, this white line, and the target box at the high with the blue line over here, which kind of lets you know, at least gives you a hint of the levels I'm looking for, right? I'm looking for either these lows and check for support, looking for this white line over here for resistance, or this target box for resistance. Now, beautifully, we reached the white line, which is the beginning of the single prints, and in the previous stream we actually spoke about this white line and the beginning of the single prints over here, where usually you get at least a rejection and then you observe the reaction, of course. But yeah, very nice rejection over here, good move to the downside, brilliant. And yeah, lower prices at the moment expected. Of course, the greatest shorts were over here, not down here when the move has happened. Of course, this place looks minimal in case price does that, right? But you know, everyone has their own plan and their own strategy. Nothing we do, or any YouTube channel for that matter, is financial advice. But this looks at the moment like an impulsive structure, but we'll go in more detail in a second, because I'm gonna do my analysis, which I usually do on a daily basis, but now live on stream, right? So yeah, at least very, very nice resistance. This line was definitely one to keep an eye on. Did we have any CVD divergences? I actually don't know. AGGR server seems down. That is very nice. Let me refresh. Is there any chance of refreshing? Do we have this? It seems like maybe I asked this question in the AGGR chat once before. Maybe they have to do something. Anyway, we can't use AGGR, so no, that happens sometimes, I suppose. Okay, let's start. So let's remove some of the stuff. Fixed range. Do I want to? No, I can always put it on my chart again. This one has been taken, and we do have the double bottom, but I'll remove it from now. Close all of my folders and the targets, and we go up in time frame. Oh. Because we're first gonna go through the analysis, which means I always like to start with the time frame horizontals, right? Ludovico, welcome. I appreciate you being here, man. SK7, if you manage to finish with Bitcoin, can you check 4-hour DXY? Expanding diagonal that can signal big changes to all markets. We can have a bit of a look. 4 p.m. though, 4 p.m. I have to stop because of load shedding. So let's hope we finish all the analysis stuff on Bitcoin first before 4 p.m. Else I can't make it. Bookmark it, guys. Welcome, LJ. Where do you pay? It's below the. I don't really tend to talk too much about it, but below the video you have a join button. If you click on the join button below the video, you'll get all the information in the video that I made. Certificate issues for AGGR. There you go. Yeah, expired. Yeah, that happened once before, like a few months ago. I asked them about it, but yeah, they have to renew it. Triple bottom my long trade. Yes, that's definitely an area of interest. Like the stream, boys. Thanks, Mike. What's up, man? Good to see you around, Mike. Mike was actually on holiday for a while in the Netherlands as well, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. High time frame levels. Let's quickly go through the analysis, right? So that we have some time at the end for chatting and stuff. So let's go to the weekly. Nothing here. Let's go to the daily. Oh, sorry, we already hit the daily. That was over here. If you don't know what daily, weekly, and monthlies and yearlies are, make sure to check the educational playlist on my channel, because I have a video which explains this. And I use it in my analysis, as you can see now as well. So if the day closes red, we are going to have a new daily over here, but you know, the day didn't close yet. So currently there's no new like time frame horizontals here. So let's go more locally again, which means now we're going to look for point of controls, which honestly, I don't think there's new point of controls, or we just hit it over here, because they opened here. So the point of control of yesterday is likely somewhere here, which I think is the one we hit right now. Now I can check ATAS, which I'll do, but that means I quickly, as usual, have to go to my face. So instead of looking at some candlesticks, you now have to look at my face here for a few seconds. give me a bit, because when starting up ATAS, you have some information on the chart before actually connecting to ATAS. And I use ATAS for naked point of controls. So just to double check, right? So it has to start up. There we go. It's coming. And in the meantime, while it's starting up, I click on connect here. Let's have a look at what you are writing. I suppose, Ludovico, I suppose we are in a wave 1 down. Inside this wave, we are now in a wave 4. Yes, that could be correct. Absolutely. So wave 5 is coming. How do I measure the length of wave 5? Should not be longer than wave 3, right? That depends. If wave 5 is extended, it can be longer than wave 3. It's a little less common, but it can happen. And usually if a wave 5 is extended, wave 3 and wave 1 are quite similar in length, but wave 3 is never allowed to be the shortest wave. While ATAS is starting, so we're almost going back to the chart, guys. But there's multiple ways to calculate a wave 5. Of course, we're talking about very low time frame, right? 15-minute stuff here, 5-minute stuff. But there's different ways to calculate a wave 5, and I'll actually go over it in this stream, because one of my scenarios has those different ways of calculating a wave 5 on the chart. I already have it on the chart, but on a higher time frame. Okay, click, 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 clack, clack, boom. There we are. Probably you can now see it again, right? Yeah. Let's have a look then. What is happening over here? So we do have the 26. Oh wait. Naked point of controls. Oh, I don't have one on the chart. 26250. Oh wait, that's the one of today. Never mind. 2575. Yeah, okay, that one has already been hit as expected. So nothing new here. Okay, yeah, this is nothing new. And then we go to the monthly. Currently prices at the monthly and the weekly point of control, 25775. Let's see, 25775, and then this is 257. Was it 50? Yes. Okay, so that is exactly where we are at the moment, which also is the previous day point of control. So important volume level here, right? So it's no wonder we have a little bit of support at this area, right? We checked all of this, so that's interesting. That's fine. We can go into Elliott waves now. Just to go into the question of, what was it? The question of Elena Radu. 20k. 20k is possible. 20k. But she had another question. Or he. I mean, you know, you don't know, but you never know. It's the internet. Or below 15. Yeah, so on the higher time frame currently, the higher probability is this. So a bit of a move to the downside, right? Before then, so basically at least taking this low over here at 24,750. Before then, you know, this is an area of interest between 23.2 and 18.8 for then a bounce in either a wave 3 or a wave C. That is yet to be seen. So on the macro, that would then result in at least, this is the macro bearish scenario, at least a 3-wave ABC, where this is then your high and you expect to move down again. All depends on the reaction here. Of course, in the bullish scenario, you expect continuation, right? But I don't want to go that high in the time frames today, also due to time. And nothing really changed. So if you saw the previous stream where I went through all of the time frames, we went through everything, right? Nothing really changed regarding my thoughts. So yeah. Which means that we can go to the medium time frame. Not too sure about this like area for support, because if we're in an impulse, right, wave C to the downside here, which is in a bullish scenario, you're then looking for a 3-wave structure, now in a wave C, after which you then expect to move up again. you can count this very nicely with the high of wave 4 and now in a wave 5. But this wave 5 can also have a bigger, like a structure like this, right? So yeah, this area is definitely interesting. The thing is that I'm also interested in lower prices, just to like, I hear, I mean, no one can like completely confirm, but you know, people being interested in 22, 23k. So how nice is it to have a 1, a 2, and eventually, you know, wherever the high of 2 is going to be, have a 3 to the downside, then a 4, and then you get a 5. So yes, the people buy or willing to buy here are first in profit. They're like, we catch the low. Then it's a 4, and then you get another dump. Everyone being stopped out because obviously then the stop losses are here, or they are here, which is an interesting low at about 19.6 as well. So definitely keeping an eye on the 20k support as well, just in case. But that's still very, very far below where we are right now, right? I mean, very far. It's only 6k, but it's far from, you know, where we are. That's still, yeah, big move to the downside. So this was a alternative scenario. Let's see what, you know, if anything changed, right? Still possible as well, this scenario. Of course, we can have the, where is the, do I have, yeah. So that one is coming up. So this is one scenario, and then the other one is this one, but I'll talk about that in a second, of course. Now we do the analysis part instead of going through all the scenarios. So in a ending diagonal, all the waves are zigzags, ABC. Then you have a 3 wave, ABC and a 2, and then you want to see another ABC to the downside for then a wave 3, ABC and 4, ABC and 5. And what's nice here is again the lower targets. So you have a 3. I mean, invalidation at the moment is 21.6. Let's see if the fibs are still correct. Yes. Okay. Yeah, so the invalidation is 21.6. So if this turns out to be a 3-way structure, you don't want price to go below this 1-to-1. That invalidates an ending diagonal. But so far, so good. I mean, it's still a very valid option. Where then in this wave 3, you're looking for a 3-way structure, then a 3-way 4, 3-way 5. Okay. So this might go very quick. In like, actually, what I'm doing now goes slower than I usually do it by myself if I am not live. But for the ones that are like, yo, he goes through all these scenarios way too quick, don't worry, because I'll do a summary part after the analysis part, and this is currently the analysis part. So usually I go through these scenarios very, very quick. I look at the chart, I measure some stuff, and then go next. Takes a bit more time because I'm also talking and explaining some stuff, right? So don't worry if you get confused or it goes too quick. I'll get back to it in a second. So for a wave B, a minimum target is the 382. If I actually change this to a wave B in a zigzag, right, the 382 is usually a minimum target, which is a target we have hit, taken from the high to the low. So potential high of B, and then looking for C. Then this is the beginning of an impulse. Now, something I have in mind is that the weekend is coming up, and the weekend is notorious for ranging, right? Ranging price structure. So either before the weekend, we want to see a proper drop, because I think once the weekend hits, we're just going to be ranging. So at least that's the highest probability scenario for the weekend, as it always is. So that's something we have to keep in mind with the Elliott Wave scenarios as well, right? We use Elliott Waves in addition to other things. Okay, put this one in the folder. Okay, let's go to the other scenario. This is also one of the questions from, who was it? The wave 5, Ludovico, I believe. Oh yeah, here, wave 5. By the way, Jay, audio is not clear. Wait, is my audio not clear? Hello? I don't know. Is it maybe not loud enough? I could bump it up in volume. Well, probably not today, but then the next time, because the volume over here is reaching yellow. but it could reach red without problems. It shouldn't be a problem as well. It's clear. Okay. Wow, look at you guys go. Thanks for the feedback. Appreciate it. So yeah, probably pump up the audio a little bit at your side, Nick. We're going over the scenarios in a second. Happy Friday, late to the show. Still early, Errol Suleiman. Welcome, man. Tropical H, ABC. He's a German. Zoo. 23.5, that is possible. 20K, that's also possible. Exactly. Yeah, so these, yeah, Tropical H, that's exactly it, right? It's the same as last stream as well. You're exactly right. These are the two scenarios on the chart. Mike, all good. Darpan Patel, it's clear. Audio fine. Audio is nice. Good. Audio perfect. Audio good. Audio great. Not loud enough. Okay. Yeah, make sure to put your PC, phone, iPad, wherever you watch on some higher volume. If it's still not loud enough, I'll make sure, because actually with streaming it's possible, I'll make sure to put it a bit louder like next time. I'm not sure if I change anything, if it's gonna help. I'll do this next time. I don't want to mess around. So let's focus on Bitcoin now, and I'll just talk a little bit louder, but then next time I might pump up the volume just a little bit, because it's not a problem. So in this scenario, Ludovico, right, there's different ways of calculating a wave 5. Now, wave 5 can also extend, right? So it's a little bit more rare, especially if wave 3 is extended. But wave 3 reached a 1.618, which usually is it's like the target for a wave 3 you want it to reach. An extended wave 3 for me is usually if it like really goes to the lower target, 2.618, 3.618, 4.618, right? This is the common, like, usually a minimum target for wave 3, and you actually want to see the 1.618 hit, which is the case here. Now, wave 5 can extend to lower prices. And if it extends, we have to count the subwaves of wave 5 to get a better picture of where the final end, like the end of wave 5 is going to be, right? Because as it stands now, it's then difficult. However, if you get a regular wave 5 in a normal looking impulse, then these are the different ways to calculate your wave 5. First of all, you take fibs, the 1.618 and the 1.236 taken from the low of 3 to the high of 4. This is a most common, or usually the most common based on probabilities, the most common target area of a wave 5. And then we're talking about a regular wave 5, right? A normal wave 5 after a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 ending somewhere here. Another way is a 0.618 taken from the high to the low of 3 to the high of 4. Then you have the 1-to-1 taken from the high to the low of 1 to the high of 4, which is somewhere over here. So that's not relevant, as you want wave 5 to go below 3. And the 1-to-1 is above the low of 3. And then you have a channel which you take from the high of 2 to the high of 4 to the low of 1. And then the low of the channel also gives you an idea of a potential low of 5. Now, these are the regular targets, right? So not an extended 5. So yeah, these are a couple of ways to calculate your wave 5. So this is an interesting target. However, and you of course, I know you're talking about the local price action, but you can use this info on all time frames. The problem with this potential wave 5 is that if this is the high of 4, which it looks to be, it was very nice price action for this wave 4 over here, right? Reaching the 0.5, nice rejection, moving down. Then you can count a 5-wave structure in here, but it did not hit any of the really the targets you want the wave 5 to hit. Yes, it just wicked below this low, but for a wave 5, you don't really want to just wick and then move. Usually you close a couple of candles, you have some price action here, and then you move. So the fact that price here started to go sideways before reaching the target of a wave 5 here gives me higher probabilities that this target area is not going to hold, but we're going to be looking for lower prices if price comes down. We are going to talk about the micro in a second, where we can see a potential like a bounce, right? But at least this is something to keep in mind, because if this is a 4, you want to see an impulse in 5. And if you get a single impulse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ending here, that would have been nice. But now you have a 5-wave impulse ending above like all these targets, also the low of 24,750, which therefore increases the probabilities. This is only the beginning, if we're in a bearish scenario, this is only the beginning of wave 5, meaning a wave 1, for example. So you have a 1 or a wave, wave 1. So you don't have 1, 2, you're going to be looking for lower prices to come. Okay. What happened here? Oh, well, we had the key level here as well on the chart. So that is nice. 0.5 has been hit. This is for a potential wave 4. Whoops. So then you want this to be a wave 4, and then you're going to be looking for 5. Okay, apparently I estimated the high of wave 4 when it wasn't yet in. I was close, but here we are. This is the exact pull from the low of 3 to the high of 4. Confluences, daily naked point of control. Now, by the way, I wanna talk about this scenario because actually, even though I do my analysis, it has a lower probability at the moment. But nonetheless, I do want to talk about it. Okay, a couple of things there. So, and actually in the group, I like reading the stuff in the Discord group. And if you're not yet in there, you don't have to. I mean, everyone for themselves. But many we have great counters in Discord, and some good stuff is being shared there. And also Triple R WhatsApp, he mentioned and also others. Perse, JC, J or Bitcoin. Don't know all the exact names. Jarcy, JC. So you can see it's very active, especially today as well. Alpha joining, welcome Alpha, by the way. But there's many great contents here in the group. RRR had some good content to share and some good thoughts the last week. So I can't. Oh, here Jarvis. That was the name. Also Jarvis, KG. We have John, of course, in the group as well. Now, this as a wave 4 compared to this being a wave 2, it's a very big wave 4 in time, right? Like this being a wave 4 is a very big wave 2. Preferably, therefore, this count is a 3, 4, 5. So this is not part of a wave 4 anymore. This is a separate new structure after the impulse down. This still being part of a wave 4 time-wise, it gets very, very long, right? So if we take, depends a little bit what pivot we take here. So 2, we compare wave 2 with 4, then this wave 4 is now 4.5, almost 5 times bigger in time, right? And on these time frames, on the 15-minute or the 1 hour, I'm on the 1 hour, that's a very big difference between a 2 and a 4, right? So probabilities are low that this is a 4 and you then have a 5. Probabilities are higher that a first impulsive structure is finished and that this is part of a separate structure and then a wave 1, 2, or 2 already in, and then a wave 3. So, something to consider, which then means that I actually, am I going to remove this? I mean, this is the bullish scenario. It's not like invalidated. It's just low probability. And this is the bullish scenario because on the micro, actually, I need to make the new micro scenario apparently because I don't have the other one. This is the bullish scenario because after the drop, you expect continuation up. And in the bearish scenario, yeah, you can have maybe a bounce or you can have a 3-wave structure for then a 2 and they expect continuation down. So let me actually put that scenario on the chart because I don't have it. So over here, we then have this as a wave 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 5. Make this one blue. Fib from the high to the low of 1. Put it on the wave 2. There we go. You can see the 382 is hit. Now what's important is that the 382 is orange. It's a rare target for a wave 2. Most commonly is the 0.5 to the golden pocket area, which is, I should say 0.5 to the 786. That's the most common area for a wave 2, right? So this is definitely an area of interest, which also explains why I had the levels on my chart for the past week. Even though I didn't go live, I had 2 levels on my chart to the upside. One has been hit, which was this horizontal level, right? We rejected there right now. And the second one is the target box. Confluence with the golden pocket, daily naked point of control. You're filling this inefficiency as well. We have an order block. It's a nice little bit of confluence around the 27K to 27, 3K area, right? So definitely an interesting bit of price action, or an interesting area. So for a wave 2, preferably, this is most commonly your area of interest. But we have to wait and see. Now, if this is the high of 2, you now want to see a bigger wave 3 to the downside. And this is where my thoughts come in with the weekend is approaching. So either, how long did this impulse take? This is okay, and we put it on the high here. Then we're talking about Monday. So if this wave 3 to the downside, if this is a 1, 2, and we're looking for 3 to the downside, if wave 3 is the same length as a wave 1 in time, usually a wave 3 is a bit longer in time because it tends to be the strongest, most powerful extended wave. So if this is a wave 3 to the downside, it's going to continue to the downside during the weekend, and next week we're then going to see the low. So it's going to go very bearish the whole weekend, and that's something I don't like, which lowers the probabilities for me that this is the high of a wave 2 without counting Elliott waves, preferably, or actually, yes, it's a 3 or 2, which is a rare target for a wave 2 as well, but also just from a time perspective. But what do I say? It's even when I say it's not Elliott wave related, it's actually very Elliott wave related, because I'm using time, I'm using the fib, and of course then the weekend. But knowing the weekend probabilities of, hey, probabilities are higher, the weekend is a ranging structure, therefore probabilities are higher for not to get a big wave 3 dump compared to continuing to range. So we have then 1, potentially a higher 2. If it does come down, then it's gonna then the weekend preferably is a subwave of wave 3. So then you have a 1, then you have a 2, then you're gonna be looking for another 1, another 2 during the weekend, and then 3, 4, 5, and that then finishes wave 3. I should say it correctly, right? Like so. This is possible, but then the weekend preferably is horizontal price action, so a wave 2 here, or still this wave 2. But we're gonna go into this structure in a second. So preferably before the weekend hit, before New York closes at 10 p.m. Central European time today, the move already happened. And then before 10 p.m., which is in about 6 hours and 20 minutes, you want to see a move, and then range, and then next week we can continue. That's the most bearish scenario, right? Where this is the high of 2, and we're now on our way to the downside for 3. We call this micro. Okay. Let's have a look lower. Isn't the rejection at 26.4 perfect for wave 5? Yes, if we talk about this being a wave 5. So now you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And this is 25.3. Depends what wave 5 you. I would think you talk about this being a wave 5, but. Ines Carrillo, thank you for the update. We missed you. Yeah, sorry guys, couple of days off, wedding stuff, family, friends of my fiance, busy times, and of course load shedding in South Africa doesn't make it easy. To now I have a day at home, and we're here for the day. So I can stream. Usually during the day I'm gone, but in the morning and the nights or evening there's load shedding, so there's no electricity, so I can't go live. Mark Dutch, yeah, there he is, the legend himself, actually. From sunny La Balconia. Wait, you're actually just on your balcony in the Netherlands. I heard the temperature is very high. Enjoying a beer and some waves. Yeah, not the ocean waves. That would be nice and refreshing, I can imagine. But a beer will do, no? Koen. Koen is written with a K. Do you also have my name at least? Do you also have a bottom? In. Do you also have a bottom is actually in count? Yes. What are the probabilities? Okay, we'll go over the macro stuff as well. I think that's something we can do. We just finished the ABC correction. Yeah, we could have a nice ABC here as well. Of course, bearish. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? ABC. It's a long C. But okay, I wanna count this in a bit more detail anyway. Flotty, there he is, the man himself. Good to see you, man. Thanks for jumping in the stream. I appreciate it. Okay, we have 19 minutes left before load shedding hits. So let's quickly have a look here and then go through the different scenarios quickly because of time. Because the moment load shedding hits, I gotta go off. First things first. Counting this here. I mean, look, counting all these subwaves and what doesn't really make too much sense. Very difficult, complex price action. I prefer to see it as just like in general, right? A three-wave structure. The fact that price here came so low, this is something I do want to share because I actually shared it in Discord, but I'm not sure if I shared it in the previous stream. I think I did. I definitely shared it earlier. So in the previous stream, I mentioned as well that the move from the low, where is it? Oh, the move from the low does not look like an impulsive structure. Mainly that if this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave move, wave 4 retraced to the golden pocket, which is, I mean, incredibly rare. Like, I don't know if I've ever really seen it. So here, the 618. The 618 is a very rare target for a wave 4. So, it increases probabilities. This is a 3-wave move instead of a 5-wave move. So therefore, the probabilities were higher to still eventually take this low, which we haven't done yet. However, if we look like in a more bullish scenario, let's say the low is in, la di la, and this is an impulse, or somehow this is maybe it's like I saw another count as well where this is then a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 type of count someone had, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, that's invalidated. So now you're going to be thinking about then zigzag structures like a diagonal. So this is then an A, then you want to see a B and a C. B has to be, 1, 2, wait, before I confuse too many. So this is then an A, B, C. In a bullish scenario, you're thinking about either an impulse or a leading diagonal. So this can then be an A, B, C, D, E, diagonal shape, right? But this has to be a 3-wave structure. Look how far it moved down already in a short amount of time, especially compared to this structure. And it's not a 3-wave, at least not yet. So I don't know, probabilities are still higher for the bearish scenario than the bullish scenarios. And another reason is because this low has been taken on Bybit, but not on many other charts. And probabilities are high to align the different charts and take this low. So, things coming together there. So how do we count this? Let's start with the move down. For me, it looks more like an impulse than an ABC at the moment. If this is a wave C, it is very extended, 2.618. So preferably, or not preferably, because it's not about what I prefer, probabilities, the fact that this move is so extended are higher probabilities. We're counting an impulse to the downside. So 1, 2, potentially another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. And if we can finish this first structure today, then we could potentially see a corrective structure throughout the weekend and then continue down. That would be a very long corrective structure though, because this only happened in about like 15 hours, 12 hours. Where are we now? Okay, we're against the 382, which is a common target for a wave 4 as well. Invalidation, if price is going to reach these levels at like 26.1k, that is when we can look for higher prices. So probabilities locally are higher to make another low before having a bit of a higher bounce. There's two thoughts I have. Quickly, I'm thinking here. Okay, so this wave 2, if this is the high of wave 2, then it is about twice the length of wave 1. If we get something like this, it's going to be a very, very long wave 2 compared to wave 1. So for a wave 2, preferably this is the high. If it's going to take like a lot longer, wave B starts to be a higher probability because of the length in time. So let me put this on the chart just for... So this can be a finished three-wave structure. WXY, ABC doesn't really matter. This can also be A, B, C. Then we're talking about a flat. A, take the lows, hit support, daily naked point of control, lows, triple, like double bottom here, plus we have this one, for then a C to the upside. But then in B, you want to see a three-wave structure at least. So you have a 5, 3, potentially during the weekend, and then another 5 next week before then a move up. But if you have this move, it's a very long move in time compared to a relatively short impulse in time. Usually wave 2 is not too long. So something to keep in mind, I suppose. Okay, let's go through the different scenarios and clarify also the local thoughts. Hey, that's very nice. Ooh, we also had bearish CVD divergences at the highs. The thing is, I don't really like wave 3 to start at the end of the week with the weekend coming up. So I would still, like, probabilities wise, for this high to be a wave 2, 382, weekend coming up, you know, do you really want to see a bearish big impulse during a weekend? Nah, you know, usually it's a range. Anyway, let's go through the different scenarios, and then probably while I talk, we'll get to that. Like, we get to the we get through what I want to say and the probabilities here and what to look for. Doomsday. That's the question. That's the question. When is Doomsday? I have a little eye on the news. What's happening next week? Next week could definitely be interesting, though. We got some high impact news next week as well. ABC from 25 3K. Yes, that is possible. Yes, that could definitely be a finished ABC and now the beginning of a wave 3 to the downside. This must be a flat. This must be a flat. Oh, then you mean this. A, B, C. My guess is that we'll keep bouncing on 25.6 during the weekend. Price is very strong on that level. High time frame 0.382 if I'm correct. Okay, yeah. It's bouncing there again, but it's also the point of control right here, locally. Oh, yes. Hello. Good to see you, mate. Good to see you back. Oh, yes. I've noticed that on Bitcoin Wave 2, like to retrace to the 302. Yeah, it's definitely, it is a target nonetheless. It is a target nonetheless, so it's important. But the weekend is coming up. So, hello there. Have you ever heard about the harmonic? Yes. Well, I heard about Elliott Waves and I heard about harmonics. They complement one another. But you can also learn them separately and use them separately. Waves of the Jedi. Yo, what's up, mate? Good looking waves. You don't have power at night. I live in the Netherlands, but I'm on holiday in South Africa, as you can see in the title. So South Africa has electricity like problems, let's say load shedding, as it's called. Wave 3 completed, 4th for the weekend. Next week, 1520. Wave 3 completed. You mean this Liquid Mafia, like this wave 3 and then 4 and 5? Because this being a wave 4 for the weekend is going to be a very big wave 4 compared to 2. So I think, you know, likely you're then talking about a higher time frame wave 4. Oh, my wedding day, 9th of March next year, 2024. Muharram Imam Chodu, hello, welcome, man. Good to see you. Good to see you. Okay, guys, 9 minutes. Let's go through the different scenarios, and I'll go quick because we have 9 minutes. Then the electricity cuts off, which means I have to close my stream. So we're going to go through different stuff very quick, starting, and I'll do it very quickly on the macro still. But I won't go through the macro in a lot of detail because locally is more interesting for now, right? So macro, 1, 2, continuation in 3, 4, 5. Low of wave 2 here, didn't hit the 0.5 and has been made before the 0.382 fib time, which in both cases is a bit less common, right? So preferably a wave 2 ends between the 0.5 and the 786. That's not the case. And after the 0.382 fib time, which also is not the case. Doesn't have to mean like that you know, we go down now, because I still expect higher prices in both the bearish and the bullish scenario on the macro. But on the macro, you want this to be the low, and you want to see continuation in then a wave 1, wave 2, and eventually continuation for higher prices in then a wave 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and eventually you'll end with new all-time highs somewhere at the, you know, wherever that is. We still have to see. Let's first wait and see if we can get out of the 30K area. No, in the bearish scenario, you're going to be looking for also a move to the upside. And that's why for me on the macro, it's pretty neutral, because here you're looking for an ABC, wave A 5 waves, wave B 3 waves, wave C 5 waves. Interesting area between 39 and 50K, golden pocket, point of control, 786 value area high. Important area of resistance for Bitcoin. The way we go up to this level and how price reacts here will determine for me the probabilities of the macro bearish and bullish scenario, right? So because for now, in both the macro bullish and bearish, we expect a bit more downside and then eventually a bit more upside, and then we wait and see. And of course, throughout the weeks to come, I will update you with the content. No. Then on the daily time frame, high time frame, in more detail, AR1 over here, wave AR1, 3 wave in a wave 2 or a wave B, for then continuation up in a wave 3 or a wave C. Now, price ending in this area, which is green, can both be a wave 2 and a wave B. But if price is going to take, or if price is going to range here between, let's say, like 22K and 30K for a lot longer time, for more time, and eventually we're going to pass Saturday the 27th of Jan, probabilities increase for this to be a wave B, because this is such a long sideways structure. It's going to be twice as long as AR1. Doesn't invalidate a wave 2, but hey, we trade probabilities. Nonetheless, in both cases, we expect continuation to the upside. We have some targets to the downside that are interesting. First of all here, 21.8, 22.6. Second, 20.2, 20.6, and then last here 18.7, 19.1. This is an alternative count, which I know it's not interesting, right? This is high time frame stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's alternative, so we can talk about that in more detail another time when I have more time. We still expect to move down, and over here this is one scenario where we then have a 3-wave A, B, C, and 1, A, B, C, and 2. And we're now looking for an A, B, and a C, and then a wave 3. So it's a zigzag diagonal, ending diagonal in a wave C, and then a bigger corrective structure, right? So this impulsive structure then finishes as an ending diagonal. All the waves have to be zigzags. So we're then looking for a zigzag in 3. A, B, C to the downside. Most common target for wave 3 between the 786 and the 886, pulled from the high to the low of 1 to the high of 2, which is between 23.1K and 22.4K, which is also an area where we have some additional support. So that can of course be quite interesting for them, maybe retesting this white area for a wave 4 and then a wave 5 looking maybe for around the 20K area, which is very interesting. If we look at the more local bearish scenarios, then this scenario complements the diagonal scenario I just mentioned. I'll go into probabilities in a second, by the way. So we then have an A, B, C. Can B be finished? Yes, the 382 is a common target for a wave B, so it can absolutely be finished for then a C to the downside. Can it go higher? Well, yeah, I mean, if price goes back to this level, then I expect, personally, price to fill the whole inefficiency we have here and move towards 27.2K targets, which is also the area of interest here. 27K to 27.3K. Important area of resistance. If price can find upside, this is going to be my area of interest. At the moment, probabilities are higher, nonetheless, for price to make new lows before making new highs. The impulsive scenario to the downside, instead of this being an ABC, is this being a 1-2 continuation down in a 3. 382 is a less common target for 2. Most commonly is the 0.5 to the 786. Golden pocket is one of the confluences in this blue target box, which is nice. Time-wise, it would be nice if this wave 2 is finished, because now in time, this structure of a wave 2 compared to this wave 1 is nice. It's about like twice the length of wave 1 in time. If we're going to get a structure like this, then this wave 2 is going to be very big in time compared to wave 1, which is usually not really ideal. It can happen if wave 2 takes long in time, then wave 4 tends to be short in time, and wave 2 tends to be long in time and long, deep, and simple. And then a wave 4 tends to be short, shallow, and complex. And the other way around, if wave 2 is longer in time, complex, and shallow, wave 4 tends to be more deep, simple, and short. That's the rule of alternation in Elliott waves. It's a good one to know. Now, basically, if we are going to go up here, let me be a bit more specific. If price is going to reach, basically the 886. So if price is going to go above this like area, if price goes here, probabilities are definitely increasing just to go to the blue area, because my first area of interest was this line as shown last week as well, this key level, which now acted as resistance. Very nice indeed. If price goes back up, then I expect this to fill and go to this area as resistance. The more bullish scenario, time, I have time pressure. The more bullish scenario here is that we get a wave 5 down somewhere around here, 24K-ish, right? And then a move up. The problem for me is that this looks like a nice impulsive structure to the downside. Can this be a wave 5? Theoretically, maybe, yeah, because we took the low of 3, but usually for a wave 5, you just want to see candles closing below wave 3 and actually go to some of the targets for a wave 5. And also at the moment, this doesn't look like an impulsive structure to the upside. Could we think about a potential diagonal? Yeah, but then this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And in this wave 2, you want to see a zigzag. And if this is the first structure of a zigzag, it's going to be a very deep second wave. So yeah, not ideal. So that's not something I'm really looking at. So this scenario for me currently has lower probabilities of this being a 5 and then a move up. The higher probability scenario for me at the moment is that we do get, I should say it correctly, we do get a wave 5 but deeper. It's an extended one. So you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So lower prices to come. The weekend is coming up, and during the weekend price tends to range. And ranging, we have to wait. If we get a move to the downside, I want it to happen before 10 p.m. Central European time, which is when New York market closes. It's 4 p.m., so electricity could go out any moment now. Load shedding. So yeah, if we get a move down, preferably very quickly. Look, we have to play the probabilities, and there's a couple of areas of interest to the downside. To the downside. We have over here a couple of lows, right? Interesting. We have a daily and daily naked point of control. So if price comes down here, the reaction is going to be important. If price comes here in the weekend, I would prefer a bounce, just because I don't really like to see a big impulse in the weekend. If price now moves up from here, right? So we then do have a three-wave structure. If price moves up, goes to these levels, I would expect price to continue to the daily naked point of control for the weekend. So we basically continue ranging. And that's also what's most common in weekends. It's price continuing to range, right? So that's definitely something I am looking for in the weekend, basically. So yeah, that's a very quick. So probabilities are that the probabilities are still higher for price on the higher time frames, right? To make a new low, to go to lower prices. That is, from an Elliott Wave perspective, a higher probability scenario. More locally, like here, this, like, it's Elliott Waves 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. Could be interesting. So 4, 5, 4, 5, and then you get a bit of a. So this is going to be like then you have a wave 2 throughout the weekend, and then next week you can go down again. Because this hit the 2.618, taken from the high to the low to this high, which is an extended target. It's a target for a wave 3, and incredibly rare for a wave C. Taken from the high to the low to this high over here, toggle on wave 3, 2.618, right? So the probabilities from an Elliott Wave point of view are at the moment higher, that this is an impulse to the downside, and then a 1, 2, looking for 3, then a 4, then a 5. Potentially, price could then take the lows over here, maybe even hit the daily or daily naked point of control. That's something we have to wait and see. Before then a bit of a bounce, and then have a wave 2 throughout the weekend. So yeah, that's something that could be interesting. 4, 5, 4, 5, 2, 1, 2, continuation down next week. If price can make it up here, right, I'm going to be looking for the daily naked point of control at 27.2k. This is as simple as I can make it, everyone. These are the levels I'm looking for. I think probabilities locally are quite difficult, mainly because the weekend is coming. So it can be a mess in the weekend. It can be a range. The question is mainly, is this the high of the bearish, for example, a bearish 2? I don't really like that scenario with a 4. Like, the reason, by the way, I didn't really talk about this scenario. As long as I have electricity, I'm going to keep talking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This being a wave 4, it's so long in time for this to be a wave 4 compared to a much shorter wave 2, is that the probabilities are lower. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you get a 2. It's something you can keep it in mind, but probabilities are a bit lower. This invalidation will be removed the moment these lows over here are taken. So, there we go. Okay, you can see you can't see the message because of my webcam. However, we are now without electricity because load shedding now hit. So I don't know what it will do with the stream, but it will definitely eat my battery because I'm live. So yeah, this is basically what I wanted to say regarding Elliott waves and the analysis and the probability. So you know what I'm looking for. And yeah. Oh, I still have some electricity, but it's like, again, yeah. I mean, for a wave 2, preferably you're gonna see higher levels. Can this be a high of a 2? Yes. But then you have a wave 3 during the weekend, and that's something I just don't like. So I guess preferably we're gonna continue ranging. Maybe for 2, see some higher prices. Maybe even fill the inefficiency, go to the 27K area here, and then fall. But yeah, what happens more locally? You know, you now know what I look for, right? So like, price over here moved down already, and this is trading. I had a few levels on my chart at the beginning of the stream, and basically the past couple of days, right? I had this level on my chart, and I had these two, the daily and the daily naked point of control, and the daily naked point of control up here. Clearly, those are my levels of interest. This was a level of interest. We rejected, moved down. This over here, for me personally, with also my strategy, I'm not trading during my holiday, so just make that clear. But regarding my strategy, look, this was a nice short area. You know, here we already moved down a bit. So I mean, if it's your strategy and you see what you want to see, you enter. But my next area of interest is either going to be here or it's going to be here. Which one are we going to get first? We'll see. Doesn't mean that it's an automatic short or long in this area, because if price reaches this area, what is going to be the reaction? And I wrote it very clearly, and I do at least want to read this correctly, in Discord, where over here I said that now that price, basically over here, price moved to the white line, right? Which is this white line over here. Because price, instead of doing this, moved up, because price moved up first, before moving down first, the probabilities of a bounce here are a bit lower. And it's explained in this, what I write here, because if price moved down like instantly and not hit the white line, we had a potential wave B low or a wave 5 low. So if price would have done this, it could have been an A, B, C, or it could have still be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and a bounce. So then you had a wave B and a wave 5 over here. And both of, for a wave B, you expect a bounce, and for a wave 5, you expect a bounce. But now that price moved up first, if price now comes down here, it can either be a wave B or it's a wave 3. So now there's a higher probability also for continuation. While before we had this move up, you had a higher probability of a bounce here because you had both a B for upside and a 5 for upside. But we moved up first. So now it's either the low of a B in the bear scenario, or you have continuation. So now it becomes even more important to observe the reaction over here if price comes down here. And it's a bit higher risk as well for potential longs, unless we see what we want to see for potential longs, right? For you can be a RSI divergences, CVD, whatever it is, right? Same with the shorts over here, of course. Always check the reaction. Ooh, almost load shedding, yeah. It's been a long time since Bitcoin hasn't crashed on a weekend. Yeah, exactly. That's true. 9 more minutes. Yeah, I know. I have a laptop. That's a good thing, right? So at least, but it, battery goes down quickly. Almost forgot to hit the like button. Damn, man. How can you watch the stream and not click the like button? No, of course. Don't worry about the likes. People know where to find, I always say this. People know on you, everyone is experienced on YouTube. You know where the subscribe button is. You know where the like is. You know where the dislike button is. You know where the join button, at least some people may not know, but the join button to become a member is below the video. People know where to find it. So I actually never shout like the video and subscribe and that sort of stuff, because if people like it, they'll like. If people enjoy the content on a regular basis, they'll subscribe. I don't have to repeat it. But yeah, thanks for reminding the people in the chat, I suppose. Ken van der Bos, good to see Koenz analysis again. Welcome, man, and thanks. I appreciate it. LJ, 1 minute. Yeah, we're already 10 minutes over now. Just a note, most of the biggest moves have happened on weekend in the past. Yes, that is true. I remember as well from the 69K high, we had some big moves in the weekend. So, yeah, it's definitely interesting. The past couple of weeks, or past couple, probably the past couple of months, the weekends have been very rangy. But it's something we have to keep in mind. Like, preferably time-wise, where is it? Not that one. Not that, no, this one. Preferably from a time perspective, the high of 2 is already in. If we're thinking about a 1-2 continuation. From a time perspective, I like this. It's a nice, like it's twice the length of wave 1, you know, hitting the 382, which is still a target for a wave 2, and then you have the beginning of a wave 3. And therefore, it's higher risk now to potentially long at support, which I've just spoke about over here. It's very simple, right? I look for the areas of interest. This was an area of interest. This is an area of interest. This is an area of interest. This is the closest area of interests now for where price is at the moment. This was a great short opportunity. Could be a potential long. The problem now is we could be in a potential 3 if price comes down. But what I would like to see during the weekend is that if this is the beginning of an impulse, then I would like to see 1, 2. Wait, let me zoom in again. I think that would be ideal for the weekend. And then we have the news next week. So we then have 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 3-wave corrective structure, right? This happens during the weekend. Before then, next week, continuation down when also the news hit. Wednesday's a bit late though. But yeah, we have to wait and see. Like, you got to know your areas of interests. And I had a great quote from someone in the past is don't trade towards your areas of interest. Wait for price to hit your area of interest, observe the reaction, and then make a decision, right? So area of interest, also from an Elliott Wave point of view, last week mentioned, was over here, and over here. Well, we hit the weak line, the wide line. Nice. Yeah, now we wait and see what happens next. It's difficult to say with the weekend. But what Liquid Mafia says is, yeah, the weekend can be incredibly volatile. It's just in the past months we haven't really seen it. So probabilities-wise, it just doesn't happen often. So let's wait and see what happens this time around. You know? So yeah. Thanks, Daywalt. Thank you. Ash K, good to see you as well. Welcome back. And I'm doing very well. It's 4 p.m. I'm now running on my battery of my laptop because electricity is off. Wi-Fi works because they actually have a power bank for the Wi-Fi, but you know it eats the battery of my laptop. So I do go soon because I still have other stuff to do and I need my laptop as well. DXY. QZ World, welcome, man. For this wave 2 or B, what price do you see? I just explained the levels I'm looking for. So if price goes up, 27.2K, that area is an interesting one. And if price goes down, the 24.9, 25.1K area here, 25.2 because we have the lows, is an area of interest and we have to observe the reaction. If price goes below this area, so if price goes below this area, we have one daily left, 24.3, but then we go all the way down here, in my opinion. So I don't really have any support here. Do you think it's possible to use Elliott Waves with Heikinashi candles? Ooh, I never used Elliott Waves with Heikinashi candles, so it's difficult for me to say. I guess you can make it work, but I don't know if the wicks I don't know if the wicks are the same. And also, of course, candle closes are different. So with some of your fibs, right, like it's important, like, oh, okay, if candles start closing above the 0.5 for a wave 4, it's invalidated on the regular chart. But maybe on the Heiken-Ashi candles, things are changing, and I don't know how it works there. So yeah, you can't necessarily compare one-to-one using Elliott waves on the regular candles, the Japanese candlestick candles, or the Heiken-Ashi. Jacob, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Welcome back as well. Good to see you. Card Crypto, thanks for the live updates. It's a pleasure, man. Thoughts on the CME gap? Yeah, 21K and 20 to 21K is definitely an area of interest. I'm pulling lines here. Over here. I don't have the CME gap in this area of like this support area, but it's basically at your CME gap level, I suppose. Thank you from Rio de Janeiro. Wow. That's one is still on the bucket list, eh? Rio de Janeiro. I want to say wave 2 or B on the weekly. Well, it at the moment it's the same probabilities. It can both be a wave 2 or a wave B. Because on the macro we still expect higher. On the high time frame, which is like, let's say, the weekly time frame, as you like, we are still looking for price to move a bit more down. That's a higher probability. And then we expect it to move up 39K to 50K area. And like the way how price is going to move to that area, is it going to be a wave C style or wave 3 style? We have to wait. And the reaction in that area, that's going to decide if, you know, this is eventually a wave B or a wave 2. Because we don't know yet. At the moment, probabilities are the same for this being a wave 2 or a wave B. We have to wait for a move to the upside to give us more info. Unless price is going to continue sideways for many more weeks to at least like January. That's when wave B becomes more likely. But at the moment, it's the same probabilities here. So yeah. So yeah, that being said, levels of interest are known. I will put them on the chart, and I will do that right now actually. So I will turn these off, turn this one on. So you can, again, the link of my chart is in the description. So if I change anything, then you will be the one to see it, because everything I change on my chart or add or remove will be visible. Let's see, which one is it? Not that one, not that one, not that one. Ah, there we go. Then we have over here a double bottom, and it's basically a triple bottom with this low over here. Right, so this level of interest has now been hit. So I can remove that from the chart. Quickly see what we get if we pull a volume profile. Okay, we bounced on the value area low. That's some nice support. And I'll keep this on the chart as well. You know, it's a range. It's one big range. So is it extended to right? Yes. There we go. So level of interest hit. Nice short opportunity, and now we wait and see. Will price continue ranging throughout the weekend, or will it be impulsive? We still expect at least lows to be hit or new lows to be made. The biggest question is, will it first go up? You know, we wait and see. Again, this was a short opportunity, as shown the whole of past week, and also mentioned in the previous stream. Not that it's a short, it was a level of interest. I will never say it's a short or long, because that's up to your plan and your strategy and your entry requirements. But it is a level of interest, and based on the reaction, it's a potential short, which, you know, it definitely was interesting. Get the move down, area of interest, observe the reaction. This one is a bit more risky now because of the potential wave 3. We wait and see. Can still be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wave 2 during the weekend, and a move down. So, and if we go up, if we reach these levels, I would expect 27.2. That's as simple as I can make it, because having a very good idea of what price is going to do locally now is quite difficult. So this looks like an impulse. This is an extended structure hitting the 2.618. So the probabilities from an Elliott Wave point of view are higher. This is an impulse 1, 2, expecting still a 3 because it's a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. So still expecting some more lows from an Elliott Wave point of view, and then a wave 2, and then, or it's an A, B, C, and then up. That's the question. So yeah, we have to wait and see. But that's just Elliott Wave probabilities. But the lower time frames you go, the less reliable it becomes. So I prefer to now talk in areas of interest. And then what happens there is, you know, we wait and see. Hi Koenz. Chart Willem, yo man. Hope you enjoy our country, South African. Absolutely. Thanks for not forgetting to do YouTube videos. I do not. But with load shedding, it can be quite difficult to actually, you know, make videos because during the day, most of the time I'm gone. And then in the morning and the afternoon, we have load shedding in Cape Town. So, you know, and I don't like streaming without my laptop being connected to the power, because yes, I'm still live now. We have load shedding now since like 10 minutes. The problem is it eats my battery. So I can never stream long enough to actually do stuff. So I never stream during load shedding because it just doesn't make sense. Now I already did the whole stream and now load shedding hit just now. So it's you know, I can just finish the stream, I suppose. This is an ideal scenario, no? Good job, mate. Good job. That's very nice. Very nice. 26.3. That's a great entry as well. Good job. That's also with the bearish CVD divergence highs here. Nice, man. Ways of the Jeddah. That's the way we like it. 25.3. What's that? Wait, 25.3? Oh, that's another chart. You had a lower low here. Oh, wait. Maybe you longed somewhere over here. One of these two. So, yeah. We'll see what happens over here. Point of control is now resistance, which is important. And yeah, I can't, you know, that's as simple as I can make it. That's the summary, right? Higher time frames, we expect some more downside. And locally, our area of interest was hit. And now we wait if we get continuation or if we get some more strength, and we look for our target to the upside. And then we observe the reactions both sides. So let me actually put an alarm. I already have an alarm here. Let me also put an alarm up here because I want to know what happens. So there we go. Cool. Cool. Okay. Ooh, there we go. So that was the stream. So what we've done, if you like joined later, is I did my analysis at the beginning. Then I went through some Elliott Wave analysis stuff and checked my different scenarios. Then we did a bit of a summary, ending with the local range over here. And yeah, if you have any questions, make sure to ask them in Discord. And yeah, load shedding is here, and I do want to at least have some battery for my other work-related stuff that I want to do. So let's see if price can get some strength, move back towards the upside. If it does, I'll be looking for here. Or if price is going to go down first, maybe then get a bounce throughout the weekend, ranging, maybe continuation next week. But of course, you know, I think that tomorrow I can also live stream because I think that, yeah, I should have the time tomorrow as well. So it could be nice to see what price does the rest of the day, and then tomorrow I hope to go live again, and then we can observe if anything changed and if we get some more info about what might happen during the weekend. So yeah. So okay, everyone. Thank you, Mark. And the wall chart. There's more South Africans, by the way, also in Discord. It's nice to see. It's nice to see. I like South Africans and South Africa. I'm marrying a South African. Hello. Biltong, absolutely. I don't really drink beer, but Biltong, oh yeah. Hasta la vista, Barbie. What's up? How you doing? How you doing? You're arriving when I'm leaving because you know, I gotta go. Price locally, by the way, seems to be moving up a little bit. So let's see if it has the strength, the yes or the no. But you know, levels of interest. We'll see. Is the weekend going to be a range? I don't know. I can keep repeating myself, of course, with the levels of interest. But at the moment, that's also why like it's difficult at the moment. Probabilities here. Yeah. Sometimes that's just the way it is, and we need to wait for some more price action. But just because of this move here, it looks more like a wave 3. Get another low, bit of a bounce through the weekend, then another low, and then we look and wait and see what happens here. If we go up, then yeah, definitely be looking here. Then this is a zigzag, 3-wave zigzag. Be looking for these prices, but yeah, wait and see. Levels of interest are hit. Man, I just keep hanging. I keep hanging behind the chart. Like, yeah, I gotta go. I just gotta go. Brandy and Coke, yeah, like water and Coke, I suppose. Okay, I gotta move. 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 Yeah, I prefer to look on a daily. I don't mean it's still pushing, right? It's still pumping, moving up. Nothing really changed on DXY really. So anyway, I gotta go. I've explained my levels of interest. The level of interest that we were looking for since the previous stream, or one of the levels of interest, has been hit. We got a nice reaction, which was over here. So let's see what price does. Can it pump as it does right now? That's also what I'm interested in. Like, can we like? It looks like, you know, there's a bit of a move. Let's see if that continues. If it does, area of interest up here, and then we'll wait and see what the reaction is there. No, and if it goes down, this is the area of interest. So this area of interest has been hit. Nice reaction. That's it. You know. So wait and see. Wait and see. Wait and see. I'm literally repeating myself 5 times now. After your holiday, 4K subs. Maybe. I don't know. Like, I don't know really. What are we at now? We are at, let's see, 387. I see. Yeah, I know. I don't keep too much track of the numbers. Of course, it's nice to see, and every time, you know, we hit a round number, I like to share it in Discord as well. Of course, thanks everyone for subscribing and being here. But yeah, the 4K, it's like a bit of a matter of time. I prefer focusing on creating good content, and if people want to subscribe or not, it's up to them. And yeah, it's nice to see it growing in a short time. Since the 20th of February, when the channel started, we are now here at almost 4,000 subscribers, which is insane. I've never imagined. So yeah, okay, this is going to be the absolute final time. Area of interest has been hit. We're now going to be looking for the reaction here or here, for me at least, and also from an Elliott Wave point of view, these two areas are important. Are we going to see continuation to the downside over here first or not, and then observe the reaction here? Or if we go up, we can also still do this, right? Observe the reaction here. No. More locally, well, you know, this is a very long wave C, if it is one. We cannot completely disregard this as a B, and a long C, but probabilities would suggest it's more of an impulse structure. But we don't know, right? This at the moment for me is a bit in the middle of nowhere. We found support on the value area low. We got the move from the area of interest, right? This was an interesting area for a trade, for me at least. But I'm on holiday. I don't trade. That's a rule. And now I'll either be looking here or looking here, which are also relevant levels from an Elliott Wave point of view. This was also an interesting level from an Elliott Wave point of view, as it was the 382, which is important for a wave B or a wave 2. So patience is the game here. Patience is the game. So that being said, thanks for watching. I appreciate you spending time here during the live stream today. I'll make sure to update you whenever I can go live again. which might be tomorrow. So hopefully we get some interesting price action the rest of the day here, either to the upside or to the downside. And then we can talk about it tomorrow and maybe have a bit of a better idea of the probabilities, like very, very locally. But for now, it's just areas of interest, and we got to wait, be patient and wait and see what's going to happen. So thanks for watching. I'm going to enjoy the, gonna enjoy the rest of the day here in South Africa, Cape Town. And yeah, thanks for being here, everyone. So Sander, LJ, all the others as well. Mark, good to see you around once again. Martin, Eichhold, thanks. And have a good night, have a good morning, have a good afternoon, have a good evening wherever you live in the world. And we will see each other again shortly. Bye-bye.